Welcome to another episode of Get Real with Liz. And today I have a special guest and a close friend and also a colleague or whatever, coworker, whatever. He works, he does jobs for me. Luis, can you tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about who your background?
Okay. My name is Luis Cortes, and I'm from Paso, Robles. I'm 42 years old. I work for the school district. I'm a barber, and I do videos and got a family, married. I'm just trying to, take it one day at a time. Just,
right.
Un
día a la vez.
That's it.
So, you're very inspiring, not just to me, but I'm sure to a lot of people in this community.
Thank you.
You're one of those people that doesn't get stuck, where you're at. You always pivot, you always, show resilience.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit of some obstacles that you have encountered and what makes you you? Everybody has a story. And we all want to hear your story.
Yeah. You know what? Back in 2020, I was diagnosed with brain cancer, brain tumor. And
you're still here strong.
I'm still going. A few days ago, Monday, I just had an MRI scan. This is actually my first yearly checkup, so everything came out good.
That's awesome.
So I'm just thank God every day. Just like, thank you God for giving me another day. Give me some extra lease on time on life.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. Every day is a new blessing.
Yeah, big time
for new opportunities.
Yeah, and what I went through, I found God like in my worst times, and I just got to keep going, keep fighting through, and that what helped me. I went through hell, so I was like, all right, how to go to heaven? I got to go, keep marching on.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's interesting how you said that you found God, right? In the middle of chaos.
Yeah.
And sometimes, we take for granted what we have or what we, on our daily basis, even a pillow, right? At night or a cover, the minute that you don't have that pillow, you're sleeping in a rock solid bed. You're like, I miss my pillow, the little things that you take for granted.
Yeah.
But, not only is that relationship that you have with God, but the fact that your mindset changed, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, because something like that, when somebody tells me like that I got diagnosed with something, it's scary.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that? How do you explain it? How do you, what tips can you give those that get that news, not to give up? Because a lot of the times people get discouraged and they don't try to fight.
Face your fears. Face your fears. I ran away. I ran away from my fears, and that crippled me. I was stuck in my couch for like 3 months when I heard the news. And then my wife grabbed me and shook me. You want to live or you want to die?
Good for her. I was like, Shout out to Cora.
And I was like, I want to live. And she like, all right, get up. Yeah, grab my shoes, start running, and just I had to. It took some time to face my fears and fight my fears. So just keep fighting your fears and just face reality of like this sickness. And just keep digging. You're gonna find gold. Just keep digging and don't let the inner voice put you down, because we could be your worst enemy.
Right. I talk about that all the time.
Oh man, it's every day. It's you versus you.
Yeah.
It might not be
you self-sabotage yourself, and you're your only competition. So if you are doing self-doubt, then you're the one that's crippling yourself. The good thing is that you have good people in your corner. They're like, hey, what are you doing? Get up. Let's reality check. Yeah. And then eventually it does, hit.
It does. Like it's crazy when life hits you like, oh dang, like what happened yesterday? I was running around the bases. Now I'm just in the hospital, in the ER, whatever it is.
Right.
But don't let fear cripple you down. Anything. Don't let other people doubts or anything. Just keep going. Keep going.
Stay focused.
Stay focused.
Yeah. No. I admire you for that.
Thank you.
And And I know that everybody, like I get emotional, but I know everybody goes through something.
Yeah.
And it's just resilience. You know, you're a definition of resilience because, like you said, people can give up. There's different types of people that give up, that don't try to find solutions. You know, you did in that moment, you know, because when we're going through that storm, it feels like the world is colliding, right? Like, why me? Can you explain like exactly like how you felt, like why me, like all this stuff? And then eventually, you know, how Cora came in and you know, back to reality, focusing on the facts.
It's just it was like a crazy it was a crazy season. We all go through some kind of a season,
Right.
as human beings, and to get through it, you got to get through the season, you know. And seasons are temporary,
Right.
so you just got to get through it. Just get through it, and just asking God for, hey, give me the strength, you know. A lot of courage and a lot of faith, and it's courage and faith. It's not pretty.
No, it's not.
It's easy. It is easy to say, like, hey, just, you know, do it in faith. Okay, cool. But faith, you have to, like, faith and courage. You got to, like, mold it. It's almost like you're making like a little putty, and you got to mold it, shape it, and like, all right, this is my.
Yeah, and you know, you said faith. Faith. What is the definition of faith to you?
Oh man, faith is like how do you say that? You what's I'm trying to remember. It's you walk but not in sight.
Right.
So you just the unknown.
The unknown. That's what I was gonna say. Like basically, faith is believing the unknown, like believing that it's always gonna work out, because it always does.
Yeah. Well, walk in faith, you know, not by sight.
Right.
So you just gotta, you know, keep going that foggy road. You know, yeah, we're going 30 miles per hour, but it's not a go 100.
Right.
You know,
it's true. Another really good point that you mentioned is, you know, the fact that these are seasons, right? A lot of the times people get stuck in that season.
Yeah.
And it's important to know, you know, that everything is temporarily.
Yeah.
Nothing is
Guaranteed.
forever. Yeah. Even when you're doing great, you know, like next thing you know, you might be struggling. Or then you might be struggling, and next thing you know, you're a conversation away from a totally different life. Yeah. It's the little things that defined us, I guess, you know, but the seasons, you couldn't have said it any better.
It's temporary, but you just got to get out that season. You just got to keep going and keep going.
And you know, another thing that I found very intriguing from you is the pivoting. You know, how we were talking about that people don't get stuck, you know, or people do get stuck and then they just kind of never do anything about it, right? But in this case, you pivoted.
Yeah.
You had a barbershop. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you know, don't have it anymore, but then now God gave you a different vision and now you have something different. Can you tell us?
Yeah. Once they told me,
because I love that story. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know the whole story, but I want to hear it because to me it's inspiring.
Yeah. Once they pulled out the tumor, they tested out that, hey, you got cancer. Dang. I'm going to close down the barbershop and just focus on my health. So went to chemo, went to radiation, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm not going to cut hair no more. I'm just going to work at a store. That's it. And my wife's like, hey, what about a mobile barbershop? Like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to give it a shot. And it's crazy because, like, you know, it might sound kind of not silly, but kind of like, you know, desperate for help. So I grabbed my clipper. I went in my backyard and asked God, this is what you want me to do? This is what you want me to do? I feel like a crazy guy. And to make things happen, you have to be a crazy person. Right. You know, so yeah. We got, you know, we did it in faith, and we got the van. And started, you know, put some work on it. I didn't put no work on there, but, you know, I have friends that put work in there. And just the beginning of this year, I've been staying consistent, and a lot of like the hardworking moms or hardworking dads, like they don't have time to go downtown and get a haircut. They just, hey, I got 2-3 kids here. Can you come over, this and that? So, yeah. So God blessed me a mobile barbershop. So it's crazy how, you know, negative things, you get there's something positive.
Right.
There is light. There is light on the other side.
Right.
You just got to keep.
Well, sometimes I always say they're blessings in disguise. You
Yeah.
take a leap of faith, and then next thing you know, it's better than what you thought. You know, like you think in your head, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and that.
Yeah.
You know, especially nowadays, people are like calendar and like writing everything and like very strict on what they're going to do. But sometimes you do have to take that leap of faith and believe, like you said, the unknown. And, you know that God's plans are greater than ours.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
So you saying that you got, you know, that the hair clips and we're like, you know, God, is this what you want me to do?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that you're crazy, because you're not. You're just basically asking for help, right?
Yeah.
And you were, give me a sign, because I believe in signs.
Yeah.
I'm exactly the same. I'm like, God, show me a sign. You know, if this is the right direction that I need to go. I put my faith in you, whatever it is. And then sometimes I see the sign, like I dream of something, or somebody randomly calls me about something, and I'm like, oh, that's the sign that I was looking for.
Yeah.
But God gives everybody our special gifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have that gift, you know, of the barbershop.
Yeah,
and so for you to pivot, it's just kind of, you're opening up a different market.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know we talked about books about like Who Moved My Cheese.
Yeah.
But also there's another book called Blue Ocean Strategy.
Okay.
And I don't know if you read it, but it talks about like the red ocean and blue ocean. The red ocean is your traditional everyone. Okay. Everyone does the same thing.
Yeah.
So you're going to see barbershops everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially right now. There's so many barbers.
Yeah, big time.
But you are the blue ocean strategy.
Okay.
Because now you're catering to different people.
Okay. I see.
You know?
Yeah.
So you're different. You're outside the box. You're not your traditional barber now.
Yeah.
You are a unique barber, a mobile barber.
No, I like that. I like what you say. No.
So that's kind of what I always reflect when people talk about stuff like that. When they're like, you know, I don't want to be the traditional realtor. I want to be outside the box realtor.
Yeah.
I want to be a blue ocean, just like you.
I like that.
And also, it opened up an opportunity for you to focus on other skills that you have that you probably didn't even know you had. Videography. You know, you did one of my videos for closing, and then another one for my listing. Yeah, which you do have that eye for vision.
Thank you.
And can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that's kind of it's super cool. Actually,
no, it's crazy because like after I had to go to my second surgery, and after like 2 days later, we stayed at the hotel for 5 days. So, but 2 days later after my surgery, I was like, well, okay, now what? So my dad gave me an iPhone, and I started kind of like, you know, researching how can I make videos on a cell phone, and I started messing with it, and I actually did a little video. I had this big old Band-Aid, you know, and so my wife actually took it off, so we just recorded that time lapse, and from there I just started messing with it, playing with it,
like your personal journey.
Yeah, my personal journey. Then I started looking at YouTube videos and I built passion, like I said, it was like a hidden a gift.
Right.
So I was like, man, you know, I really like this. This is different. I'm not cutting hair. I'm not doing this. This is actually, it feels like therapy, like fun, like what you do. Like you have a blast.
Right.
And from there, just little by little, people start noticing, hey, man, can you record my food business? Cool, let's do it. Can you do this? Can you do that? I get a lot of people like, hey, can you do this? Like, yeah, I'm down to do it. And so I started upgrading my little like gear.
Right. I saw that.
Yeah. No, thank you. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually buy a camera. And from there, the camera is a different ballgame now.
Yeah.
It's the Sony camera, so it's really
crisp and clear.
Yeah, it's a different ballgame. I'm like, whoa! I feel like I just put some new ice skates, and I just feel like a deer, you know, kind of trying to get my balance.
Right.
But I'm just having fun with it and just open up other doors.
Right.
I mean, I like it. It's people that needs that video person.
Right.
You know, you're busy. That person's busy. So like, hey.
But it's also a vision. You know, you're creating a vision to life. You know, and that's very popular right now with social media and influencers and stuff like that. But they don't always have that eye. you know, and it's like the little details, and that's what separates, again, you know, from your traditional person, because anybody can grab a phone, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And record or take a picture. But when you have that gift, that hidden gift that you didn't know you have, it changes everything, and it opens up opportunities. Now you're doing music videos.
Yeah, music. Yeah, so I'm working on my second music video with my friend Joe Valenzo. He has a studio, so his company's called Current Flow Media. And so my first video was my camera, my cell phone camera. Now this one's with my actually Sony camera, and now like, oh man, so and I got a new software. I was using CapCut, now I'm using DaVinci.
Yeah, I saw that. I see, you know, obviously I follow you on Instagram, and I see that you're constantly trying to learn and better your material.
Yeah, it's you learn as you go. Yeah. So you learn from your, you know,
mistakes,
but you know, but you don't call it a loss. You just call it a lesson.
It's a learning experience. It's a lesson, and you see what works and what doesn't work. You know.
Yeah. And I'm just having fun with it. You know, like this is a cool little team going on. So this is a small seed. We all got to water it to make it grow. I know I got life going on, but it's take a turn, water it. You know?
Yeah, no, that's what I said. It's planting seeds, and then eventually they're going to bloom. You know, so. And you're going to reap those benefits eventually. You know, people are going to see you. I posted that video of when Henry got his keys. Yeah. And I had so many people reach out to me, other realtor agents. They're like, who is he? Yeah. Can he do my videos? Yeah. I'm willing to pay for his training. That's I was like, Luis, call them right now.
Call. That's cool.
Because, you know, it's opportunities that you wouldn't have never known about unless you're out there, right? Yeah. I mean, me and Miguel and other people here in this podcast, we always talk about, you know, not being a secret agent, not being a secret barber. Yeah. I mean, how are they going to know that you're a barber unless you're out there? Yeah. You know,
you got to show your face. You got to show your face. If you make a little noise, they'll start showing up. Like,
they're like, who is this guy?
Who's that? Yeah, he sounds good, or he or she, whatever sounds good. Like,
yeah, exactly. No, that's pretty exciting. I was able to you know, to have you help me out and a couple things, you know, my listings and my closings, and now we're gonna do an open house. Yeah. So I'm really excited for now, the new camera and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks a lot. Thanks again, like, for reaching out to me.
Of course, my pleasure.
Give me a chance, because like, man, I'm like, whoa, I'm like, it's crazy how like people's actually hitting you up. Like,
and thank you for accepting the opportunity, because you know, it's all about helping each other out. Yeah. And we are technically like family. You know, Cora is related to my kids, and we're all in the family. Yeah. But I think also, you know, like you were talking about Cora, it's important to have a supportive family backbone support, because in a business that we are in, that we're self-employed, you know, you do have to have a tight family that understands. You know, like when I started real estate, believe it or not, I made my daughters a contract. You know, like I wrote a contract letting them know that some days, you know, I was going to work late, or some days, you know, we weren't going to be able to go to certain places. But whenever we did have opportunities, we will reap those blessings, you know? So that way you set that expectation, because, you know, it's hard to work late. And then they're like, okay, well, where are they at, or whatever. And I think that kind of helped us out. So having a good support system, it's very important.
It does. You got to have peace in your house.
Right.
You know, once you clock out from a long day at work, you want to go home in peace.
Right.
With your spouse.
And it's different, right? Than your traditional. Because you say you also work in the school.
Yeah, I work in the school.
And so you have a set schedule.
Yeah.
And then when you do your videography and your barber, you work around it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like 3 things going on. Yeah. And it's crazy. I'm like, whoa.
How do you manage that? Man. You know, if you want to tell everybody, because everybody's like, how do you do it? They always ask me. I'm asking you now. Yeah. How do you do it?
Just, you know, just passion, you know, just passion. Like I like working for the school because the kids, I like being around with kids. Right. It gets my mind away from the world. Kids just want to be kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
They're a blessing.
Oh, they're great. I'm like, man, they got their own little world drama. I'm like, man, this actually,
and they're random too.
Yeah.
Like they come up with some weird things, and you're like, what? It brightens up your day.
oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not messing with adults. I'm messing with like kids. Like I'm talking to kids. But you know what? I feel pretty good because I have a lot of like my coworkers are like, hey, that's cool. There's a male role model for these boys, and yeah, we do need some men role model,
right?
For the young kids, the young boys, and having a hard time, and they're at home,
right?
Some they don't have dads, it's crazy going on. So I feel great, just like
right,
give them some kind of advice,
make a difference,
And so I've been working for the school district. It's about to be 4 years coming up, and I mean I like it, I love it, I like it, and again I do that, I cut hair and the videos. So it's I just ask God to give me some strength, just keep going. So
that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, just keep just a lot of.
But we have to be more specific in our intention, because sometimes when we're like, give me strength, and then He gives us opportunities to use our strength, and we're like, that's not what we asked for.
Right, wait, that's too much. That's too much.
We're like, hold up, that's too much strength. I know you trust me, but you know.
No, I hear you. It's just, it kind of shows you like who you are when things go down.
Right.
Can you work? How do you work when pressure hits you?
Right.
When your back's against the wall. So,
but how do you?
Man, I just I control myself, my breathing. I just try not to like speak. I think before
you speak.
I just listen and just let it soak in. I'll try not to let my emotions take over. I just relax. Don't worry about it. That person's having a hard time, whatever it is.
Right.
Silence is golden too.
Right.
Silence is that's a
and like you said, we don't know what everybody else is going through, right? We go to the grocery stores, and sometimes people are rude. They don't even acknowledge you, and then there's other people that are like, "Hey, how's your day?" And you're like, "Oh, wonderful, thank you for asking." But those people that don't say hi to us or whatever, the same thing. I always tell myself, well, maybe they're having a bad day. I mean, we all have bad days. Not life. My daughter one time told me, it's not always rainbows and butterflies. And I'm like, yes, it is.
Right. Yeah. Yes, it is.
I'm like, at least try to pretend like there is. But unfortunately, we are humans and we do have emotions. And, that's why it's important not to speak out of anger or fear or whatever, because that can affect our decision making.
Yeah, control. Learn like train your emotions. Don't let your emotions control you.
Exactly.
Then
that's a great tip, guys.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm serious. 'Cause I'm still working on it. I'm still like, I have to like process and think about it before you say something.
I think everybody does. I mean, everybody struggles with that again because we are human beings, and it's okay to cry. It's okay to yell and let it out. It's okay to be happy and laugh, because sometimes it even bothers people when you're happy and laughing, and you're like, why?
No, I hear you. Yeah. You just got to do it with a smile. Have a bad day, do it with a smile.
Right.
Just do it. Right. So, you got to check yourself. Someone out there has it worse. Someone's out there in the hospital fighting or whatever it is.
Right.
Just kind of,
always. Yeah, we have to be grateful every day for everything that we have. Every day that we wake up, it's a new opportunity to make things, like make a difference, change the way we're doing something. It's an opportunity to make a difference.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Help yourself, help each other. So new day, new you. So
right.
Let's not wait for the new year.
Right. Exactly. That's why everybody's like, I'm going to wait until the new year to change or to start working out or to quit soda or quit drinking or whatever it is. I'm like, why don't you start right now?
Start like that. No, that's true. Yeah, that's what it is. It's our comfort.
Right.
Our comfort thoughts.
It's kind of like the same thing like Valentine's Day, right? That's my birthday.
Okay.
But
2 in 1. 2 in 1.
But everybody celebrates Valentine's Day as the day of love, and I'm like, well, it's not necessarily the day of love. It should be every day. It shouldn't be just that one day. Why wait till that day to tell somebody that you love them or or they're special or whatever. You know, you should embrace that every day. And another note, I see you also doing videos for Victory Outreach.
Yeah.
And then I see that you guys are doing café con, what is it? Café con leche or what is it called?
That's like so they have like a little coffee shop.
Yeah, I saw that they have a coffee shop and it's called, what is it called?
That one's called Kingdom
Coffee or some cafe with a
Kingdom
K,
Cafe,
right?
Yeah.
But then you guys are also doing one, like a pop-up, right?
Yeah, my wife's she got a café con leche.
Café con
so
leche.
that's her business. So yeah, so she's right now in the works right now to get it going. But yeah, she's
this is a family of entrepreneurs right here.
We just
So
push each other. It's I think like having a job or have a business with your family, like you don't lose time with your family.
Right.
You're working with your family and you're spending time with your family.
Right.
So
It's an experience.
Yeah, it's an experience.
But it's cool because you can be straight honest, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, échame el café or whatever. You know, it's like you can straight up tell them instead of when you're a coworker, you're like, can you please bring me?
Give me the that's true.
But how's that going?
You know what? She right now she's on the works again. She's building a menu, so she's gonna get some spots pretty soon. Like I think she's gonna check out downtown. But yeah, she's just working on it. So like, hey, whatever you want to do, let's.
And she also cuts hair.
Yeah, she cuts hair. Yeah.
And is that how you guys met, or?
Well, we know each other back in high school, but we had mutual friends, but we never talked in school. But we learned like years later.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it's crazy how I would say like, what if we did mid in high school?
Right.
And, I don't know.
And I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because I always talk about timing. Timing is everything.
Yeah.
Because maybe you would have met her back in the day, or you guys would have dated, and the outcome would have been totally different.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't be the same. And to me, timing, like everything that happens in our lives is for a purpose.
Yeah.
You know? So she came into your life when you needed her.
Yeah.
Just like I'm sure you came into her life when she needed you.
Yeah.
The same thing with the opportunities with the businesses. And, I always say everything always happens for a reason.
Yeah.
If it's meant to be, it will be. And if it's not, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And it's great because, like, man, when you're with your partner, everything's good, and the good times. When bad times comes, like, all right, let's see who we are.
Right.
The bad times, because it's so easy to throw in the flag and
the towel
in, and you're just like, all right, cool, I'm done. But
yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that, because that's very important. A lot of people are going through stuff like that, where especially during COVID, we saw a lot of, I saw a lot of divorce cases.
Yeah.
I know this is not your case, but I did see a lot of divorce cases during COVID, because people were calling me, hey, can you sell my house? Can you sell my house? We're separating, whatever. And I'm like, what?
Right.
I was like, everything looks so happy when I gave you guys keys, what's going on?
Yeah.
But sometimes, like you said, it's easy to throw the towel.
Yeah.
When we're going through struggles, can you tell us, like your personal opinion of what you think can help other relationships too?
It's a battle, love and hate, but it's you're gonna bump heads, but it just kind of shows you where you guys, your love is too. So it's communication, and again, emotions get between. And that's and it's like a wave up and down, but just don't let your emotions get between. Don't let the pride, emotions get between the spouses, because it does. It gets the best out of you. Don't let the finances get you down. Don't let health get you down. Just like hey, we got to make this strong and pure. And we definitely had our, we want to throw into this marriage, but we kept going up and down. So we're just hang in there. You got to go through the good. You got to go through the bad. It kind of shows you who you guys are as a couple. But it's tough. I don't have a book. I don't have anything like I'm doing.
Not yet. Not yet.
I don't have anything like it's just like, man, you just gotta stay focused.
No, but everybody has their own experience, right? So what worked for you might work for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, maybe somebody's going through that same scenario, but they don't know what to do or how to ask for help or whatever. Because like you said, communication is key. Communication is key to everything, not just in a relationship, but in business. You know, I'm all about reading books, but there's another book.
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Never Split the Difference. It's about Chris Voss. He's a hostage negotiator.
Yeah.
And he talks about communication being the number one thing in anything.
Yeah.
Relationships, work, business, partners, anything. Because the unknown is what creates like a turmoil in our head. You know, the fact that, say I'm working with you, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, yesterday.
Yeah.
He didn't answer me for a couple hours. Not that I was like, you know, freaking out, like, oh my God, this is 5 minutes. No.
Yeah.
But I was just like, hey, are you going to be able to help me out or whatever, you know? So in that moment when you don't hear from your realtor, you don't hear from your spouse or whatever for days, it becomes concerning. And not concerning in a way where, how do you say it? In a way where it's affecting you physically, but it is mentally. Yeah. If that makes any sense. Because now you're creating stories in your head like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Imagination
Negative
is not good.
No way.
Because then they're thinking, in my case as a realtor, that's why it's important for me to always reach out to my clients, because if for whatever reason I don't answer it, you can imagine what they're thinking. Oh my gosh, the deal's falling apart. I'm not going to get the house. Yeah. What's going on? You know, that's what they're thinking. Yeah. But in reality, there's nothing to worry about. Like, there's nothing going on. No pasa nada.
That's it.
But this is why communication is very important.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And especially the world we live in, we want it now.
Right.
You better answer. If I called you, you better answer your phone or text. Like, it's almost like, man, like, someone's like, hey.
Instant. Like a minute. And I'm like, wait a second. I was in the bathroom. Hold on a second.
And again, like, it's like a test. Like,
right.
It's like testing your patience.
You're right.
And man, patience, that's another key too. So there's some powerful tools, you know, patience. Like, all right, I'll get there, but you know, this life
patience is a virtue.
It's a rat race. We got to go, and once you leave out the door at your house, like, all right, what am I gonna face? Right. You know, a flat tire or whatever. Like, life happens once you leave.
Yeah, trust me. I'm the epitome of that, or whatever you want to call it. That if something is gonna go wrong, it's gonna happen to me. Like, you know, it's just learning about patience and understanding, like you said, it's life. Yeah. And you have to pivot. Yeah. You know, you have to take a deep breath. This is something that it's out of your control. Yeah. Only worry about the things that you can control. Exactly. Everything else. Yeah.
You just grasp yourself. Just, you know, relax. Take yourself. Just, you know.
Take it's not going to change anything.
Just take a 10-minute walk. Just get cleared out and just get back.
Right.
Get back.
I always say worry is like a rocking chair.
Oh, it
is. You know, it's creating chaos, but it's not taking you anywhere.
No, we're
you're just there.
Yeah, we're just here relaxing. Just like, you know what? Like, just put the phone down, put on airplane mode, whatever. Right. And just, you know what? Right. Let God handle it.
Right. But you are right about, you know, the instant response. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's kind of sad because, like you said, for us, we understand like patience. It's a virtue. There's a lot of people that don't see it like that. So the minute that you don't answer, they're like, oh, moving on to the next one. Yeah. Or like, oh, they don't care. And I'm like, it's not even like that. That's why I think it's important to set expectations up front, right? Yeah. So the same thing in my career, you know, like when my clients call me and they're talking to me for the first time, I set that expectation. I'm like, if for whatever reason I don't answer you right away, it's because I'm giving another person my devoted attention. Yeah, yeah. But as soon as I'm done with that person, I will call you back or I will text you back. And then another thing, you know, with technology nowadays, not only our phones are acting up lately, but sometimes when people call you and you're calling out, the call doesn't get registered. So now in their head, they're thinking you're ignoring them. But in reality, you never got that call. So I always tell them, leave a message or text me back or, so I know that you did try to call me.
Yeah.
So that's back to communication.
Yeah. That's it. Like, just show up.
Right.
Just show up and, life is so busy. We lose focus. Like, oh man, I gotta, usually we don't get back to, talking to people like in the night, like, all right, cool, I'm good now. Like, things are chaos just got shut down. So, but yeah, it's just grasp yourself and just just relax. No pasa nada.
No pasa nada.
And
Si se puede y no pasa nada.
Yeah. And
those are the words,
right? And but yeah, just learn, like, just control, like, train yourself, your emotions.
Right.
It's crazy. You don't control yourself.
And what about? Let me ask you this: How is Luis today?
Man, I feel great. I feel good. Man, every day's a good day. Even a bad day, I'm still good. I mean, that's what I'm trying to show. Trying to give you all the people light.
Yeah, you're an inspiration.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no, and I just want to kind of end this with, lately I've been seeing people kind of their inner child, right? Like, what do you think your younger self will be telling you right now? If your version of you right now will be coming back to your inner child, what do you think your inner child will be telling you?
Just show up. Just show up. Don't show off. Show up. Show up on time. Show up. Just show up. Action speaks more than words.
Right.
So that's how you get your results.
Right.
Put the positive action and just show up. And just do it. Be grateful. Be happy. You're like, man, I'm good.
Right. Right.
And talk to yourself like just be your hype man. Like,
yeah, self-motivation.
Yeah, you're good.
You're your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah. It could be both. It could be your best friend or your worst enemy. So
right. Choose wisely.
Yeah, you just gotta. Yeah, it's just. You just show up.
Right. Okay, and then Luis.
Yeah.
How can people reach out to you? If they want a haircut or if they want, help with some videos.
Yeah, you can reach
out, or even motivational speaking.
Yeah. I have a number. It's 805-769-7693. Or my social media, I got a Barber Ace, and I got Ace's Barbershop, and I have the nephew _805 video. So yeah, just reach out. If I don't answer, leave a message.
Right.
Or leave a text. Like,
don't be impatient. Yeah, be patient.
I'll get back to you. I'll probably for sure respond faster than my personal phone and my social media. But just reach out and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, we're not always logged into social media.
Yeah.
But would you like to end it with a quote or some kind of inspiration? What tips can you tell our followers, in general?
Man, just be patient. Just, wake up, grateful, and just shine for others. Just keep shining, keep going,
Don't get stuck.
One day at a time.
One day at a time.
One day at a time, if we could take it,
Right. Un día a la vez, like the song.
Right.
Well, thank you, Luis, for coming. I sincerely appreciate it. I admire you and your whole family.
Yeah.
Thank you for being part of my business. You're helping my business grow as well. I always tell everybody that's part of my business, such as Miguel, which is the Paso Robles podcast, and anybody that's put some kind of drop into my business is what makes me succeed. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody, all my clients, past clients, future clients. Yeah. So everyone.
Yeah. So. No, thank you for having me on your show. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for like I said, thank you for reaching out. For, hey, let's do a video. Like,
So yes, call him for all your videos, for all of your haircuts.
Thank you.
Anything that you guys, coffee.
Yeah.
Cafecito.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you guys again.
Appreciate
and thank you. So have a blessed day.
Appreciate that, huh? There you go.